Hello. I'm back for another vlog. It's 11 p.m. and I'm tired. I'm probably gonna go to sleep after this vlog because today was such a bad day at work. It was so bad. Even when I got home, my parents didn't help at all. Basically, today at work I did expo, which means basically sending the order from the inside to the cars in the drive-thru. That's not the part that was bad. The part that was bad were a particular fellow employee that really got on my nerves. Really got on my nerves. Just really pissing me off. Because I'm working my ass off 110%. I'm going as fast as humanly possible, for my body. I am doing literally everything that I can, right? Literally as much as I physically can possibly do. And this person is like, come on, man, we gotta keep it up. Or come on, we can't slow down. I forget what the exact words were, but it was like, come on, make sure we're keeping, staying on track, or basically, making sure that I'm keeping up with the sauces, even though that's not my responsibility, because it's the person who's doing the fries whose responsibility it is to pack the bags with the sauces. But obviously, as Expo, it's my responsibility to help out whenever I can, which I did, and I did help out whenever I could. Literally, whenever I had a bit of free time before there was an order for me to deliver, I would be bagging those fucking sauces, and I'll be prepping 5 sauces for 5 different cars in advance. And this bitch is still just come on, we can't slow down, and we gotta keep going. And I'm just holy shit, shut the fuck up. It was so infuriating, because it is not physically possible for me to get all the sauces in a little pretty line and to be perfectly bagged, right? While I'm running in and out of the store every single other minute. It's just not possible when there's so many cars in the drive-thru. My priority as Expo is to deliver the orders to the cars, not get the little sauces. That's something that the fry person is supposed to do, right? Obviously, if I don't have anything to do, then I'll do that, which I did. And I got praised by that person, or by some of the, the fry. The person switches every now and then, but, I would get praised for doing that. But then this person is still just, not seeing that I'm doing the work or something, because she's still just come on, just letting you know you have to keep, you have to be the one doing the sauces. And I'm bitch, no the fuck I don't. Sorry, I'm so just it's really infuriating just thinking about it. It seemed like she just had it out for me, a vendetta against me. I feel every single time, I would talk to her, Oh, and I haven't even mentioned, I cried today. I cried because of this shit, okay? I had a full-on, mental breakdown at work. I cried, tears streaming down my face, cried. It was bad. It was really bad. Obviously, there was more to it. I'll go into that later. But that was, the first thing that really started pissing me off. Was this bitch just, constantly whining in my ear how I'm not, doing enough work when I am. And it's physically impossible for me to do more. Because in my head, I was going at 110%. Like, I was giving it my all. I was doing literally everything I possibly could at my current skill level, I guess you could say. And even then, I was doing literally everything possible. And it still wasn't enough. And that's what really upset me. I was doing everything I could, everything I possibly could. I could not do more. Okay? I did everything I possibly could, given the time and circumstances. But it still was not enough for this bitch. Okay? It wasn't enough. And it never will be enough, in my opinion. Because she just wants more. And, like, I'm sorry, but I'm not perfect. No one is perfect. Why do you expect me to be perfect and do everything with literally nowhere near enough time as you're giving me? Like, please just shut up. Like, I hear you. You constantly reminding me is only going to make me more pissed off and make me work slower. Like, just let me work in peace, please. I'm sorry, but it really bothered me. And I think I might file a complaint with, like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but, like, just working with this person, like, it made me more anxious, it made me more stressed, and made me more frustrated. Like, it was not helping. And I think I need to either let her know or let, like, a supervisor know or a manager, because it was really frustrating. And that wasn't the only circumstance either where she was doing something that was frustrating. Like, later on in my shift, like, near closing, she was very persistent and insistent on the exact way we were supposed to communicate with each other. Specifying, like, come on, like, making sure we said heard whenever someone said something. Which, come on, man. It's so stupid. Like, I know communication is important, but we were flowing. Like, we were in the zone. Like, we were doing everything perfectly. Like, there was no miscommunications going on. Like, we totally understood what was going on, and we, like, heard each other, you know, even though we weren't saying heard out loud. Like, we picked up on each other's, you know, intentions, and we understood what was going on. But this person just was, like, thinking that we weren't doing that and that we weren't communicating when we were, and was, like, very insistent on us using the word heard. It's the analogy that I had in my head was, you know, when you're doing a driving test and you have to over exaggerate the things you do for the instructor so that they can see that you're actually doing those things, you know, like when you're checking, you know, the left and right sides of the roads, right? When you're doing a driving test, you're not supposed to, like, just use your eyes. You're supposed to turn your whole head, right, to show the instructor that you're actually looking. It was kind of like that, where I felt like I had to over exaggerate what I was doing so that this bitch would believe that I was doing it. You know what I mean? And that's what really pissed me off, because it's like, we're communicating, but instead, like, I have to scream heard every single time someone says a sentence, and it's really, really frustrating and really bothering me. Like, I was sad during that time, sad and stressed, but now I'm just mad. I'm just furious now that I think back on it, because I feel like my emotions were just not, like, I just felt like I was being thrown around like a baseball, you know? Like, I was just, like, being flung here and there with no regard for me, you know? It was very just, like, I felt mistreated. I just felt like a little dog, you know, just like sit, stay, you know, roll over. And it was just, like, really, really frustrating now that I think about it. Not only that, there were a lot of rude customers as well today. So there was one in particular that, like, was my final straw, basically. And she was just, like, refusing to move her car into the parking lot because she still hadn't gotten her order. We have reserved parking spots for drive-through, right? So it would not only benefit her, but it would benefit everyone else behind her that needs to leave, that have gotten their orders. But no, she was like, I'm sorry, but I haven't gotten my order yet, so I'm not moving. And it's just like, oh, it was really, really frustrating. Really frustrating. And she wasn't even waiting for that long. Like, sure, it was like taking a bit, but it was like, oh my gosh, like, can't you see we're busy? Like, we were like busy. So it was like, we're just really frustrating. And the sad thing is that there was an issue with her order. Like, we didn't see it on the screens. So it's like, okay, this is actually genuinely a concern for us. But it's just like, if she had been nicer, it would have been way easier to rectify the situation, and it would have been way less stressful to deal with the situation. But because this customer was so rude about it, it was just very like saddening and very stressful. And when I found out that like, oh, she didn't have her order taken or something, or like we didn't have it on the screen, so we had to go back and ask for her order, like at that point it was my break. Like it was time for me to go on break, and thank fuck it was my break, because I was starting to burst into tears, like hearing this going on. And I was like, literally as soon as I started tearing up, I was like, okay, I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm going on my break, because I was told that I was going on a break. And so I did that. And so I'm in the bathroom for like 10 minutes just crying because of just everything. Like, it was a stressful day. It was so busy, like the coworker was bothering me, customers were bothering me. It was just really stressful. I felt like I was being just like it just felt like very condescending the way I was being treated, I felt like a lesser human being, and it was very just like rough. But that's not to say that everyone was bad. There were plenty of nice people, and a lot of the coworkers I work with were absolutely lovely, and when they saw that I was struggling, they were more than willing to help. They gave me a little extra time to, recover and stuff, and so I truly do thank them for that. They were really nice and really sweet. It was just a really rough day for me, personally. So, like, talked a little bit with my, like shift leaders and stuff, and I felt better. Like, I was still a little shooken, and like I still was like, like teary-eyed and stuff, but like the worst of it was over basically after that. And then once I got back onto my shift, then things started to calm down, and I was feeling a lot better. By the end, I was like perfectly fine. But it was just like that first like 5 hours, like 5 or 6 hours of my shift was just abysmal. And then when I left, I saw that person again that I was complaining about earlier, and I was leaving, right? And she gave me the stankiest eye I've ever seen. She was like she had like the face of disgust on her face as I was leaving. And then I told her, hi, like, bye, like, my shift is over. And then she was like, okay, bye. And I was just like, gosh, does this person have no respect for me? No trust for me at all? I know I'm over exaggerating with the way I'm like reacting, but geez, it just felt like this person had it out for me. You know what I mean? It's like the smallest things she would nitpick me over. It was like, oh, like if I was like, for example, I delivered an order, okay? And I'm walking back into the restaurant. She's like, come on, let's keep it moving. And it's like, bitch, I am not going to be speed walking for 9 goddamn hours, okay? Give me some time to walk at my own pace. I got 23,000 steps today. My feet are in agony. I am not going to run or speed walk if it is not necessary, okay? Like, I get it. We're busy. But I'm not going to risk my physical health just to walk 2% faster, okay? Like, Don't just say keep it moving to me. That's not inspirational. That's disgusting. And offending too. And I'm really pissed off by that. Like, jeez, sorry. I'm just like so mad right now. I'm so frustrated. I'm gonna go to bed like after this because I'm just furious. I am fuming. Like, during my shift, I was just like stressed and sad. And I know I said it previously, but now I'm just mad. I'm just mad. I had my emotional phases today, if you couldn't tell. I went through it all today. And then I get home and I tell my parents what happened, right? And then they put the blame on me. Isn't that crazy? They put the blame on me. It's like, yeah, but you shouldn't have reacted that way. It's like, I'm sorry. Like, you're saying, they basically said things along like, what they said something along the lines of, like, you shouldn't let these things affect you as much as it does. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I can't control my emotions like that. Like, if I feel tears bawling in my eyes, I can't just get them to go away. You know what I mean? Like, I really try my best to control my emotions, okay? Like, I really try. I know I'm an emotional person, but I suppress those emotions very well. Like, I'm very good at suppressing my emotions. And so telling me that I need to do that more is honestly kind of an insult, because I already do that. And I'm sure many other people do that. And so me crying is rare, you know, like, I don't cry often, you know, I don't just cry on a whim. And so saying that I shouldn't cry is just really frustrating. Like, I have no words to explain how frustrated I am. It just feels like a disregard for my feelings and for my emotions. It just feels like they don't understand, they don't care, and they're like, oh yeah, my mom's a nurse, okay? She's like, oh, I get, you know, like, patients all the time that like swear at me and stuff like that, so it's like, you have to get used to it. And I'm just like, fine, if that's the way it is, guess I'll just fucking shoot my head in, like, cave my head in with a fucking baseball bat and just kill myself, because I don't want to fucking deal with this bullshit. Like, I was legit, like, saying just like, oh my gosh, kill me. Like, I was like straight on, like, just so, like, I was just not feeling it today, you know? Like, I was this close to just like walking away from everything and just being like, nope, that's it, I'm out of here, I'm ending my shift early. Like, I was almost that, like, I was so close to just being like, I can't take this anymore, I'm going home for the day, like 5 hours early because of that. But I didn't do that because I don't know what the company's rules are and stuff, and I do, like, still need to work, I still need to make money, so it's like, I'm not just gonna leave. But yeah, it was very, like, in a very emotional day for me. Like, wow, like, it was really rough. So yeah, and afterwards my mom was like pretty nice about it. Like, she gave me like hugs and stuff like that, and she was just like saying, like, I'm reassuring that, you know, I'm a good employee, and like I did everything right and stuff like that, and that it's not my fault, and that, you know, like, no matter how good you are, people are always going to complain. So that did make me feel better, but it was just that initial reaction to what I said that kind of threw me off a bit, because it was not what I wanted to hear after that. After such a long day, it was not what I wanted to hear, that it was like my job, my responsibility to not let those things affect me as much as it did. I don't know, I found that really, like, bothered me for some reason, because, like, I get it, like, if you're overly emotional, then that's like, you have to be able to control that. But I don't think what happened to me today was me being overly emotional. I think I had a realistic reaction to a realistic situation. You know? I didn't burst into tears because I wanted to, you know? I didn't choose that. It just happened. Like, I saw what was going in front of my eyes, and then out of nowhere, like, I noticed that I was starting to tear up. And is that my fault? No, because I was actively trying my best to control my emotions. I wasn't being a doomer, like, oh my gosh, this shift sucks, like, I fucking hate this place. I was being actually really optimistic, and I was really nice to everyone. And I still am really nice to everyone and all the customers that I greet. Like I said, I do my best, and I gave it my all today, right? But it still wasn't enough. And I think ultimately that's the part that bothered me the most. Customers being rude, honestly don't give a fuck. Doesn't matter to me that much, right? And a fellow employee being a little demanding, that's also fine, I get it. Things can be stressful. You want to keep things moving. I get that, Like, I can understand the reasoning behind that. But that feeling inside me, that internal dialogue that I'm not good enough and that I'll never be good enough no matter what I do, that's the part that hurts me the most. Because that's not anyone else saying that to me. That's me saying that to myself. That feeling that I'll never be good enough no matter what I do. And it's a very hurtful mindset. And it's what I felt today. I know I'm tearing up right now just thinking about it. Because it's a shame that I talk to 100+ super nice customers, but it's just that one customer, It's just that one employee. It's just that one phrase, that one sentence that just ruins my entire day. You know what I mean? It's the only thing I can focus on. And then I fall into this rabbit hole where I feel like that the entire day. And that's my fault. And that I deserve to feel this way. And it's just horrible how you can be so self-deprecating to yourself with such ease. But then actually saying positive things about yourself is so fucking difficult. Because people, I had some superiors. I had a friend, or someone who I at this point consider a friend, who's also an employee, who are really nice and saying that I'm the GOAT, that I'm a good employee, that I do a really good job, and that they were really genuine about it, and I could tell that they were genuine about it. But that just feels like it's crazy how people could be saying so many nice things about me, but it's still that one negative thing that just makes me believe that one thing is the truth, and that all the other kind things people say to me are just lies, I don't know how else to explain it. It's just really frustrating. It's a really bad day today. I'm just gonna go to sleep because I have to go back to work tomorrow. So hopefully it'll be better. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. See ya.